we are going to Chatting with Stacks page. Salute to Chatting with Stacks. Bill Stacks, he's been in the comments, and every now and then he'll come and let us know, hey, Sammy the Bull's lying. And we agree most of the time. Went through one of their videos yesterday and didn't see much pertaining to the story while we were live. But then after that, I ran into it last night on YouTube and I was all the way in. It was a great episode. There's a couple of things that I need to correct. So, Bill Stacks, do not take it personally. I like to hold myself and everybody else accountable when it comes to information, because on YouTube, way too much people are regurgitating information, and this information can turn into other people getting hurt. For those that don't know, I have a playlist on this channel called The Tragic Death of Zach TV1. Zach TV1 was a guy from Chicago, and after he passed away, people on YouTube gossiping and speaking misinformation put two other people in harm's way, and I believe got them unalived. So I believe we got to be very, very careful with the things we say and how we talk. Telephone game is real. Before, you used to be able to say, you tell somebody about the telephone game and they have to process it. Now you can see it. All you got to do is go on YouTube and telephone game it. Just watch my G Unit Spinning Chain video. You know, you'll see things change from interview to interview. We can't keep it right. Now, I don't blame Bill Stacks very much, because his thing is the Italian mob. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how much he knows about the Flores Twins story, but that's what we know over here. So that's why we're going to be here to pick it apart. He reacted to my video on the Sammy the Bull subject. So we've reached this crazy inception stage where it's going to be this guy reacting to that guy, reacting to this guy. So we reached the third level of inception when it comes to that one. Again, you guys could check the description if you guys want to go to Chatting with Stacks show, which is Bill Stacks' channel. They cover a lot of Italian mob stuff, and they have panels. They sit on the panel and they talk. So pretty cool.
It started, like things started.
2 weeks. He was,
2 weeks.
This is the Bill just asked him, how long was Sammy in the joint before he started talking crazy to people and acting a fool?
Yeah, within 2 weeks he was talking shit to people, and what happened is he'd get two or three guys around him, them young kids that wanted to idolize him, and he talks all that gangster shit. So he thought he had backing with these kids, would be these young buff motherfuckers. And
talking about the Flores twins?
No, they weren't tough guys, not at all.
No, you're talking about other
inmates.
Yeah, I don't know how he pulled Flores twins out of. He gets these young buff guys and and tries to manipulate them. The Flores twins, he said. But Buddy Bobby said they weren't tough guys. Now, what does that mean? Were they not bullies, or were they pushovers? You know what I'm saying? Because we haven't heard any pushover stories. If there is, by all means, Bobby, let them fly.
So he thought that they would have his back, right?
Well, that's what he felt. But in those type of units, nobody has anybody's back.
He said muscleheads in general, and young goofies in general.
No. It's who can get to the guard the quickest and tell. So Sammy was famous for that. Sammy would drop notes. He'd go to the, because
he said who could get to the guard as quick and tell. Sammy was notorious for that. Sammy dropping notes.
He's a bigwig, in his own mind. So he'd run to the unit manager's office and drop a little envelope in the door.
And then they come in with bags and pack his shit up, right?
Not Sam, but yeah. Oh yeah, Sammy had a license. So anybody put their name on that paper, they were gone.
Yeah, because Sammy's probably like top priority in there.
Right.
Like anything Sammy wants or does.
Hey, you want to see? Hey, he's a jealous bitch, boy.
I know.
The Flores brothers came in, right?
Yeah, tell me the story about.
He was so fucking jealous of them. I mean, he was super jealous. And
because everyone went
super jealous. So if you remember when we did that Sammy the Bull video, the first thing he said was, they came in and made a big deal like these guys were big time or something. And that's hater talk right there. You hear somebody say something like that, they could tell you all day they're not jealous, but that seed of jealousy is living inside for a fact.
To them, right?
Well, you know what? The difference between him and the Flores brothers is P and J are actually good guys. They're real friendly, outgoing, real polite. I'm gonna give you the shirt off their back. Real nice kids. And so they got along with everybody. And Sammy would talk shit about this person, and you know, he like a little bitch. He's just a gossiper. And I mean, guys, you know, like me, I read him like a book. He ain't shit to me. But yeah, Sammy's a piece of work, all right. Real piece of work.
Did anyone ever get him in there where did anybody ever get to him in there?
No. So it says Sammy claims he was backed by the AB. Any truth to that? So
tattoos, man.
So the Flores brothers, nice guys, came in. A lot of publicity behind them as far as, you know, when they got arrested and, you know, and their cooperation, so on and so forth. They came in and they were very, very nice guys, you know, good guys. I met their wives. Both their wives were real nice ladies. Very respectful. I mean, you never think of them as drug dealers, but they ran it like a business, you know.
Did you hear the stories that Sammy's telling now about the Flores twins? Have you heard it?
No.
Oh man, maybe we should just go over his stories.
I'm sure it's bullshit.
We could debunk
Listen, Sammy tried to extort them.
I'm sure it's bullshit. It's a shame when everybody says that about you.
Them kids tried to get money out of him. He had money. Pedro P, which is Pedro's the guy in the front. But P or Pedro, whatever. But P had his wife meet him in the visiting room and gave his daughter money.
Yeah, it was supposed to something about $800, and I guess Karen Gravano called one of the Flores twins' wives something like low life trash. Or something like that.
Right. Dude. Here's the thing. That's not how the story was told, but we believe that's what happened. We believe that Karen spoke first and said something slick first, right? But the way the story was told by Sammy was that Viv called Karen and Sammy peasants. We know that's not true.
These low-life trash. But I just don't buy the story that he's telling at all.
Yeah, well, listen, P is like the, you know, I don't know, P would be like the church-going guy, real calm, collected, and his wife was, you know, the prom queen, you know, real pretty, you know, real polite, quiet, right?
She pretty.
And then Jay, right, and his wife Val. There's Valerie, and they're both named Valerie, but
no, they're not.
Val. There's the exact opposite is Jay. Jay.
One of them used to be married to Queso, the one that got killed. DMX's friend.
That's what I'm talking about.
Bill, Queso is cheese. Kato is King Kato from Chicago.
Val, she was married to a leader of the Latin Kings. So yeah, he got killed. But
names are very important. People take that type of shit seriously. We got to be very aware of the things that we say, because then it just sounds like you phoning it in. And I try not to just phone it in. Yes, sometimes I'm a little distracted. I got a lot of things going on. I'm producing the show. I'm dealing with the chat. I have other things off of YouTube that need my attention right then and there. That's why I do the live, and that's why I appreciate my audience, because y'all ain't tripping on me about little things like that. But when it comes to the information, sometimes during the live I'm wrong. But I have an opportunity and I have a second pass to go through an editing and say, oh, you were wrong right here. You can just cut this out. You know what I'm saying? Stop. Don't continue to spread and manifest the information just because it's there and because you consider it content. Let's get the information right. So anyways, the man's name was Kato, not Queso.
So, yeah, he got killed. But, yeah, the one on the right,
that's Val. Chris's, shout out to my boy. That's his really good friend. He's been on the show.
Who's that, Val?
No, one of my friends that was really good friends with Queso.
Kato.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Jesus
so that's
Christ. Queso.
That's kind of like what they looked like when they went in. But, so Jay and Val, they're like the thugs in the family, you know? And yes. So Karen Gravano or Sammy, none of them said nothing to Jay or the Val. I can assure you of that. Because Val would have said, go ahead, go fuck yourself, you cocksucker.
Has he ever been in like a physical fight in the witness unit, like in the back, like
no? He got slapped in the mouth once.
Smacked in the mouth.
He ran to a cell and came out talking shit to everybody.
I might have heard that story.
And blah blah, but he didn't do nothing.
I believe it. Cato was his name.
There you go. Somebody corrected him. All right, not Queso.
Yeah, Cato was his name.
Queso is
cheese.
That
was Val's husband.
Ex-husband, yeah.
Yeah.
I've had a close friend of Cato's on. Go check out my interviews and you'll find out. You'll go find out who it is.
You should tell me.
During this incident, Sammy is claiming that he threatened these guys, right? And then he got moved because the warden said that Sammy had connections with El Chapo and he was going to hit these guys and some bullshit, man. And he's like, well, what are you talking about? I never was going to have these guys killed. I don't have any connection with El Chapo. I think he's like trying to spin the story to sound like bigger than he was.
Yeah, he didn't have nothing to do with Chapo. Nothing. He's a fucking he's a bum is what he is. He got a little reputation, so everybody scared of him, so he would, he profited on that. When he went to the joint, he was dead broke. He didn't have a nickel. Everyone thought he had millions of dollars. He didn't have shit. First
everyone
time
thought Sammy had millions.
Yeah, everyone thought he had millions on the street. He didn't. I mean,
and
the money that he did have on the street, he didn't get it. He didn't get it brought back, because he cooperated. But when he got out and had that book sale,
yeah,
that's where he made some money.
See, that's probably the money that he says he had, because he said when he got out, or when he was in witness protection, when he got out the joint, he said he had $4 million. Was that book money?
So the story is that they were arguing over $800 in the visiting room. I guess one of the El Chapo twins' wife, Val, one of the Vals, was supposed to give Karen $800 for some reason. He owed it to Sammy.
Right. Yeah, I can believe that.
No, yeah, but so why would they owe him money? They're the ones with the money. Why would the guy?
Because he probably talked him into giving him some. I think he had maybe he got $5,000 from him once. There's a few times that he got money from him, and he just come up with some bullshit, and they just, they were young and dumb and just probably just didn't want to hear it. Gave it to him,
Were they young and dumb? Because by that point, it was the end of their empire. Quite an empire it was for a while. Were they pushovers, or like you said, did they just want to get Sammy off of them like an old Gollum, an old Schmeagle, like, get off me, man? Or I'm sure they paid him for services. I'm sure Sammy had something to offer at some point or another. Maybe not. Who knows?
But after a while, they got hip to Sammy's ways,
The Flores twins. You want to tell us about him bringing drugs in for them?
Well, that's when Sammy and I had a falling out. Is because I generally like these two kids, and I seen Sammy abusing them, and they're young, and he's just taking advantage of them. I don't like that shit. That shit ain't cool.
They were in their mid-20s.
So I said something to him, and he was wanting to have him bring in tobacco and cocaine. So
this guy
again,
Bobby, which is what I said yesterday. Bobby all of a sudden has the moral high ground because he likes these guys, and he's looking at Sammy like, man, why you doing this to these guys, bro? You're trying to ruin these guys. Like, what do you care, really? You're in the joint.
I don't like that shit. That shit ain't cool. So I said something to him, and he was wanting to have him bring in tobacco and cocaine into the visiting room and put it into the little candy machine.
All right. So is the story that they brought in drugs and coffee for him, or is the story is he wanted them to start bringing in coffee and drugs? That's the question.
So I said something to him, and he was wanting to have him bring in tobacco and cocaine.
He was wanting to have them bring in tobacco and cocaine. I don't hear that that's what happened or that's what he did. He could want a lot of things. I'm sure he wanted to be 6 feet tall his whole life. That's not what he got. You know what I'm saying? So what he wanted don't concern me.
Into the visiting room and put it into the little candy machine, and he would go in at night and sweep mop the floor. He'd be in there by himself, so he'd just go over there and grab it.
These
Oh,
young
Vivian, yeah,
kids,
Viv.
man.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
somebody corrected
That
him
was
on
the other
that
way.
too, on Viv. Again, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes too. But I do my best to make sure I'm giving out the best information that I can give, because I know how much people's mouths can turn into a domino effect of other things that happen. You give off the wrong information, which leads to the wrong argument, which leads to the wrong confrontation with the wrong person that has the wrong, the bad day and has a wrong weapon on them. And then, it's you got to say the right thing. I don't want to be up here just saying this, that, or the other. If I don't have no proof, I would have never said that I wholeheartedly believe that the Flores twins were the ones that got that chain into 50 Cent's hand if I didn't believe that the only piece of evidence we have that even mentions the chain, puts Young Buck, Chicago, and the twin together is a song. We have a song. Nobody else has something that puts all those things together like that. We have that, so I could say that. But we got to be careful with the information. We done called dude Queso. We done gave the women both the name Val. If why should I believe anything if this is the kind of information you're throwing out at me?
Vivian is
So they corrected him on her name. It's Viv. It was Viv that got into it with Karen.
P's wife. Her
Valerie and Vivian.
Her dad's a cop, or was a cop, I guess, in Chicago.
Yeah, that's right. The one on the right, dad's a cop, right?
No, on the left.
No, both of them. Both of their dads are cops. Again, I don't fault these guys because these guys are into the mob. They don't know much about this story. We know plenty about this story on this side. So I don't really blame them, but they're like, left, the one on the left, the one on the right. Her dad's a cop. No, her dad's a cop. Both their dads are cops.
I just watched, I don't get to watch a lot of shit, but I did just watch an interview where they were going over Surviving El Chapo, that book, right?
Right.
And
Cartel Wives, the book. Surviving El Chapo, the podcast.
Val called in. She called into the YouTube channel.
Val called in. Who could that have been? Oh, she called in to us. That's what happened.
So,
right.
Val, if you're hearing this, please get in contact with me and we can talk about this whole situation.
Respectfully, Mr. Stacks, that's why she came here. Because we pay attention to detail. If they're out there listening and they're hearing quesos and everybody's name is Val and only one of their father's a cop and they're hearing all of that, it's like, why do they want to talk to you? This is not me coming at you. This is me just letting you know this is how you get that kind of shit. That's why she comes here. Because I'm trying to let the facts be the facts. I'm trying to take all the rumors and throw them in a grinder and grind out the truth at the end. And that starts with getting people's names right and not confusing them. And it happens a lot. It happens on other channels. I pointed it out. If you go through my videos, I'm pointing it out all the time. You got this wrong. This person got that wrong. And guess what? I don't bat 1,000. I'm not right all the time. But I make it my business. So that's why a person like Val would come here. Because we put that extra effort into the details. And again, I'm enjoying your show. I'm enjoying your conversation with Bobby. But I'm going to call it how I see it.
Because Sammy says that he was basically...
Salute to the chat. Oso said facts. And Daniel T said, do your homework. It hit different. Hit different after the homework. She don't really call in nowhere. Again, I held her to the flames about her friend Ron to Strong. Why she didn't hit up and try to build. She had her reasons, whatever her reasons are. She also had her reasons why she called us. Because we take the material seriously. We're not just phoning it in. It's not just a fly-by-night conversation.
Called into the YouTube channel. So, right. Val, if you're hearing this, please get in contact with me and we can talk about this whole situation. Because Sammy says that he was basically... He spins the tail pretty crazy, man. I couldn't even...
And you know what? If P&J thought for a second that... they could gain something out of it or get some closure or something by talking about it, they would, but they're not like that,
Yeah.
They know in their hearts that Sammy's a piece.
Because I want to have the Sammy the Bull conversation with them.
Piece of shit. But they won't come on here and say that. I mean, they're I mean,
Nah,
they're
we're
not
gonna
like
gas them. We're gonna gas them up. We're gonna try to get them to come out here and say that.
I mean, I mean, they're not like. I mean, they're gentlemen. They really are.
Yeah,
You know?
I can tell. I can tell.
Yeah,
The wives are
yeah,
in prison right now.
yeah, for taxes.
One of them called in today.
Money laundering. If it was for taxes, might have been a more lenient sentence.
One of them called in today to a show. She wasn't in prison.
She wasn't. Well, maybe they what do they do? Yeah, when they got sentenced, they got sentenced to 3 years.
Yeah, but she go in
I'm
January.
gonna tell you right now.
In the camp.
Maybe they're out on appeal. They
could be, or maybe they have to go after the first of the year or something. Turn themselves in.
July, boom, boom, sentenced to prison for money laundering scheme. It says
in July,
spouses, relatives, El Chapo, top agency, blah, blah, blah. Mia Flores, known as Vivian Lopez, tearfully begged for mercy from one of the federal judges Monday. Flores pleaded guilty for no prison time after admitting she illegally sent a small fortune of drug money made by her husband, Pedro, who turned on his boss, El Chapo. While Pedro was away in jail, the money flowed, and now Miss Flores is going to prison for the first time, sentencing in a lucrative laundering scheme funded by the cartel profits. So I'm pretty sure they're out on bond at the moment.
Probably so, yeah.
Or appeal, and they'll end up having to, go self-surrender or something.
Yeah, but
here I got a video. I got a video for you guys.
It's a long time for them to be out.
This was in July. No, it's not. It's December, bro. You can be out for like 6 months. They'll let you hang out till Christmas, after Christmas, and then go turn yourself in. They've done that. Here, you can hear it for yourself. Let me just play this video. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell.
Yeah, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell.
Oh, that's Vivian.
Fortune in drug money made by her husband, Pedro, who turned on his boss, the ruthless drug lord known as El Chapo. While Pedro was away in jail, the money flowed. But tonight, the teary Ms. Flores is going to prison, the first sentencing in a lucrative laundering scheme funded by Chicago cartel profits. Mia Flores, who goes by a different name these days, Viviana Lopez, arriving at federal court Chicago to be sentenced for laundering drug money made by this man, her trafficker husband turned government informant, Pedro Flores. He was one of the infamous Flores twins with his brother Margarito. They were a Chicago tag team for the Sinaloa cartel, owned and operated by Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, a billionaire and bloodthirsty drug lord, El Chapo now serving a life sentence himself. As the Flores twins flipped on Chapo, made secret recordings with the kingpin, and helped put him away, their wives became mini celebrities. Mia and Olivia Flores, branded as wives of the cartel, doing interviews and writing a book about being married into a drug mob. But with their husbands in prison, authorities say the wives got greedy, spending $869,000 on vacations, cars, clothing, private school tuition, and a new business startup, oddly, a cleaning firm. In court documents, the government asking that Ms. Flores receive at least a 9-year sentence, while she requested probation and strict home confinement. Judge Martin Cannelli deciding on 3.5 years in prison.
The judge obviously saw a sympathetic case here.
Our chief legal analyst and former Chicago federal prosecutor Gil Sofer tonight says Flores' sentence is no kiss on the cheek, and that Flores didn't help her case by making a spectacle of being a cartel wife.
None of that helped. Putting herself out there, making the most essentially of her fame as a cartel wife, that can only hurt at a sentencing before a federal judge. It almost certainly hurt here too, although the biggest issue for her was simply she did not return the money that she was supposed to return.
Mia Flores to report to prison in October at 3.5 years behind bars. The cartel wife and money laundress is receiving a longer term than even El Chapo's wife, who was handed just 3 years. Chapo's wife helped run his empire.
Yo, they smashed the cartel wives, Joe, because that Emma Coronel, bro, She just stopped in, boy. She did a pit stop at the joint and got right out.
Aided his escape in 2014. Also sentenced today, Flores'
with
aunt,
real
who was brought into the
charges.
scheme. She got 1 year in prison. The other cartel wife, Olivia Flores, is to be sentenced in late September. She can't be feeling very good tonight.
It was one of them. I got to check which one it was. It must have been the other one that was on there.
Yeah, it must have been Val. Yeah, listen, they come in.
Val. Yeah, it was Val. It was Val that was on the YouTube
They come into
channel.
the visiting room, and
yeah,
Val, Vivian was more down to earth. Val, she was, she wasn't a snobby person, but she was like, she was a lady, I guess you would say,
yeah.
She was out of place in the visiting room, but she had $1 million diamond on her finger.
Yeah, so that's what Sammy was talking about. That she had this big rock on her finger, and that Karen was like, "I'm gonna bite her fucking finger off."
Not Karen, his niece.
Yeah. Karen's more ghetto.
It's typical Karen shit, right?
Yeah.
Seems like they're all the same.
The Gravanos are
daughter,
just out
the nieces
for themselves, and they don't want to do an honest day's work. They'd rather work, get money off the sweat of someone else's back.
That's exactly what they do. Right.
Oh, do they talk about Sammy in that podcast of theirs?
Here it is,
briefly.
Sammy, right here, Sammy the Bull.
They briefly speak about Sammy on that podcast. They talk about how he was the inspiration behind the, hey man, we cooperate, we can get 5 years. Look how Sammy got 5 years. Psh, that didn't work.
Speaks on relationship with the El Chapo twins. All right, you ready for this? Yep. All right, Chili Reacts. Go subscribe to Chili Reacts.
All right, y'all. For those that know my name, all right, this Chili Reacts shit has to stop. All right, I got a friend. Salute to Tops World. All right, Tops World got his own YouTube channel. If you're into sneakers, you go follow Tops World, TOPZ World. For the first year we knew each other, he called me Chill. All right, a lot of people. This is not just Bill. This is not just a lot of people instantly go to Chill. It's like those two words together. Shy ill. The dash between is silent for a lot of people. It just gets lost in the sauce, and I become Chili. You know what I'm saying? But here we are having this Chili conversation. So boom, we got Bill right here calling me Chili. All right.
Relationship with the El Chapo twins. All right, you ready for this? Yep. All right, Chili Reacts.
Chili Reacts, all right? And he tries again later, he gets to it, but let me show you. This isn't the only occurrence of this happening. So there's a young lady named Alicia Shanice who has an Apple podcast, which I think I'm going to start putting all of these episodes that I've done on all of the podcast platforms, because I think we deserve to be there. And I'm going to put them there. So anyways, just the other day, I get a message about there's somebody that's covering Surviving El Chapo, and they're using a piece of my footage. I'll let you hear it for yourself. Here we go.
And let me give him a shout out. His name is Chili Reacts.
Chili Reacts, all right? With Chili Reacts. Now, if it continues, I'm just going to have to turn into Chili Reacts. I mean, it's just going to have to be what it is. I'm going to have to create an alter ego and be Chili Reacts. Otherwise, my name is Shy Ill. Shy as in shy and timid. Don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? Shy as in Chi-Town. Shy as in Chicago. Ill as in Illinois. You know what I mean? The dash in between. But my name is Shy Ill. So I'm going to make sure that I say it out loud at the beginning of every video that I do, because I noticed the video that he plays, this could have been corrected easily. It's not his fault. This could have been corrected easily if I would have just said my name at the beginning of the video and not waited for everybody to pronounce it. But for those that don't know, it's Shy Ill. You know what I'm saying? If we close, if you're one of the first 24 people in my chat in the early days, then, you know, a funny little chili here and there is all good. Don't get carried away. But yeah, so that's what's happening. We're having a problem with the name over here. We're Chili Reacts around here. Shout out Alicia Shanice. Chili Reacts. One more time.
And let me give him a shout out. His name is Chili Reacts, and he's on YouTube. But he found the clip, so here it goes. So his voice is over talking as well. So you're going to hear.
Salute to Alicia Shanice. If you guys are on Apple Podcasts, go give her a holler. This is how her name's spelled right here, Alicia Shanice. Chili Reacts. It's a cold world out here. All right, but we're going to go back to Bill. He does try to redeem it earlier. Like, he's working on it, but it's just, and it ain't just him. Those words, they confuse a lot.
Are you ready for this?
Yep.
All right, Chili Reacts. Go subscribe to Chili Reacts. I'm going to leave a link in the description if you guys want to check out this channel.
All right, y'all. Make sure y'all subscribe to Chili Reacts. Make sure y'all hit Chili Reacts like button. Leave a comment. All that good stuff. Share. Chili Reacts.
Chili Reacts.
Yeah, Bobby. Chili Reacts.
You see what it says on the bottom of your screen? If you want to need help.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a fucking misprint, man. Here, it's gone.
Even Bobby over there.
If you want.
Take your time, boys.
Shout out to this dude, Chill. This is where I seen.
All right, now we got to Chill. Now that's how Top's World started, with Chill. Now we got to Chill. We're getting closer, and I appreciate it. I appreciate the effort. You know what I'm saying?
Information. So make sure you guys go subscribe and check him out.
All right, guys. Now we're going into the inception phase.
She called into the show. It was pretty wild. It was like, holy shit.
You damn right she called into the show. Good day. A little validation for my channel. Hey, who's that guy? That's Chili Reacts right there. What's poppin', y'all? We back at it. Today we got Sammy the Bull Gravano. All it took was for me to say my name right there, but I'm so familiar at the fact that y'all are here. We know each other. We good. And y'all be like, shy this, shy that. I don't say nothing, but I got to make it my business to open the video, every video with my name. Facts.
I did time with both of the twins who testified against Chapo. They were twins when they first came in. I'll never forget it. I was sitting in the kitchen at
They were always twins, bro.
a table eating with a few guys, and they told us, because there was a lot of law enforcement, they tightened the whole place. They treated them like they were, you know, heavyweights.
And he got jealous, right?
Twins. He was sent somewhere else. The one I didn't get along with that good was in the place I was in.
All right. Which one he had beef with? Huh? He messed with one, he don't mess with the other. That sounds like some Sammy the bullshit to say. We also took a little shot at the beginning, like there was some kind of heavyweights or something. Another thing we discussed today during the live Surviving El Chapo stream was, oh, why haven't Sinaloa come after this person, that person? Why ain't nobody come at Sammy yet? Sammy came out of jail, got popped for the ecstasy, went back, all this. He's living his life right now. He don't hide his face. He don't do none of that.
I got into a couple of beefs with him.
I wonder which one it is, though, J or P.
And then in the joint, he was like literally almost running the joint. It was, he had all kinds of money, even in prison with commissary, doing all kinds of shit. I'll never forget, my niece came on a visit. I went on a visit.
He said he was almost running the joint because, he had money.
I went on a visit.
Sammy's just an old hater.
And,
we know it.
He
they
was
know
there
it.
with his wife. She had a fucking rock on her finger. Diamond earrings. I don't even know how the president let her in like that. So my niece said, look, Uncle Sam, look at that girl's ring. I said, I know. They have a lot of money. And she says, I like to jump over and bite it off. My family's like little gangsters, even the girls. So I said, no, shut up. I know him. He's a friend of mine. And
you proud of that, Sammy? Fucking family's a bunch of savages.
Yeah.
Bunch of trash bag savages.
She came in with a Bentley, I think. She was a good-looking girl. And I told him, bro, you can't make your wife come in like that. You're sitting down with all crooks and gangsters and shit. They're looking at that. Lo and behold, a Puerto Rican guy got in touch with his brother, told him to come in, told him what kind of car she had, what she looked like, everything. Matter of fact, the brother saw her on a visit too. So what they were going to do is when she pulled out, they would follow her, crash into her like an accident, right? A little bit. Get out like they're going to show it, and then rob her. Take the rings, take her jewelry, take her money.
That was probably Sammy's fucking plan.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Money, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's the kind of slick shit that Sammy come up with. You know, me, I went to school the whole time I was in the joint, and always trying to learn and putting little business plans together, just trying to do better. And Sammy's, you know, he'll be right there talking about, yeah, you know, this score here would be a good score. And, you know, yeah, he'll never learn.
I'm telling you, and that's why I'll never stop. That's exactly why I will never stop.
You know, I don't get on here and talk about people and get bad, but unless they are bad. If Sammy's a piece of shit. I mean, you know, I feel bad saying that, but it's the truth. You know, I mean,
for some reason, I don't feel bad saying
it.
I don't feel bad at all saying that. Every time I get done with a show, I feel really good about myself. Rest in peace to Alan Kaiser. Fuck Sammy the Bull. Straight up.
There you go.
That's it.
How you get caught in the plot, bruh? Big old giant plan and you get caught in the plot.
He got caught in the plot?
What?
He said the dude got caught in the plot. Did he say Sammy?
Yeah, you got caught in the plot. You planned it out. You didn't even get it done, and you got popped off. But I believe it's Sammy's plot anyway. But how you don't even execute and you get caught. How does that work?
You got caught in the plot. He's going to tell us right now.
He got caught in this plot. It didn't happen. Thank God. But I told him, I said, see, you got to come in here. Let her go rent a fucking Volkswagen or something, a beat up one, an old one to come in. Don't flash in here, you know. And one time I was with my daughter. My daughter, I hope she's listening to this. She was on a visit with me, and he owed me some money. And
he acts like it's a lot of money. Watch this. He acts like it's a lot of money, man.
Made him tell his wife to bring down $800. It was for artwork. And
$800?
All this money in commissary, he's talking
$800 for artwork. You believe that shit?
Yeah. No, see, this is what
he believes it because he was there. He knows the scam.
Sammy was the go-between. That's Corn-Fed. Corn-Fed, you know, he didn't have any money. You know, he's doing, 5 life sentences, never going home. So his hustle was, paint.
What about that painting that Sammy said he did for his granddaughter?
Well, he didn't do that.
He didn't do that?
No, that came out of the fairy book.
He swears he did that.
Yeah, well, he's lying. He's lying, and he's lying. He's lying. You notice that now he's coming out with, and it's a joke, but with a certificate saying that he signed it. That's what the certificate is. It's a
because
certificate
he knows that he's caught.
Yeah,
certificate of authenticity, right?
Yeah. Authenticity.
Well, that his signature is, not the painting. Now, what kind of artist draws a little bit on a piece of paper and then mails it to another artist to finish?
I don't know. I've never heard of that.
Don't work like that.
The kind running the scam, that's the one.
So
bring down $800 and give it to my daughter when they leave the visit. So I told my daughter, who wanted to leave early, I said, no, you can't leave early. When a visit's over, you go in the parking lot.
You can't leave early. We need this $800.
She's going to come. She's going to give you an envelope. It's money for me. She said, they owe me. So stay here until you can collect that.
They owe me.
She says, okay, Dad. She stayed. So he's asking her, they're not that far from us. And he's asking her, did you bring the money? Oh, no, I forgot. And I'm saying, forgot. I made my daughter stay a lot longer than she wanted to stay. And I'm steaming a little bit. And then she turns around, she tells him, why do you have to give these peasants money? My daughter heard peasants. She said, is this card talking about me?
Karen, you would have got your ass whooped.
No, that was Vivian. Vivian's little petite.
Watch what he says Karen says.
Break her face. I grabbed her by the arm. My daughter's a tiger.
Karen said that she would break her face.
Yeah. I'm telling you, Karen's ghetto. I mean, she's, it's.
I know. I've seen her all over the show acting trashy, trying to defend her rat ass father. I seen that. The whole world's seen it.
And what's funny is neither one of them like each other for real. They got some issues with one another, but they're putting on a front, to try to make $1.
They ride that gangster rat card all the way to the bank.
Karen and her father don't
I ain't
like
parading my family in front of nobody for no reason.
Man. They don't care. They'll exploit shit and take advantage of every opportunity they can, even while they're in prison. So you're in prison, right? And he's talking about, oh, they were gonna bump into him. Don't involve your family. Now you got your family involved with some bullshit again, and you're in prison.
Yeah.
You got your family going to meet these people to get money from them. Who's to say someone's not gonna rob them while your family's going to meet them to get the money?
Yeah, he don't care.
He doesn't care, man.
Yeah,
he doesn't give a shit
bag.
about his family.
He's a dirtbag.
He's a dirtbag. That's all I can say. Is just he's just a dirtbag. You know, he tells all these fucking stories, and I was with a lot of guys, and none of them like Sammy at all. None of them. You know, and it wasn't because he ratted. You know, just as a person before he ratted, they were telling me he's just a dirtbag. See, the thing is when they turn themselves in, because they got a call when they were in Mexico from the feds in the U.S. saying that the heat was on. You know, their names came up in some conversations. They need to get the hell out of Mexico.
Yeah, is that what happened? I don't think that's what happened. I don't think they got a call in Mexico that said, hey, the heat is on, you got to get out of there. No, I don't think so. I think they saw the writing on the wall and they made the call. Nobody was looking for them. Nobody was asking for them. Nobody was warning them that I can remember. If I'm wrong, y'all let me know.
Because they got a call when they were in Mexico from the feds in the U.S. saying that the heat was on. You know, their names came up in some conversations. They need to get the hell out of Mexico. And so they were just in the middle of going and meeting somebody for money to pick up money for a load that they shipped out. So they went ahead and picked up that cash from that load before they left, and then they left. Yeah. But so their plea negotiation was they had to turn over X amount of dollars. What they claimed that they had. So,
but they had a lot more on top of that because they were shipping in all kinds of drugs. So they had mountains of cash, right?
Yeah, they were. Listen, they used to play. Those computer games where you could play like people from across the country or, at the same time, like the Sniper or whatever it is. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't play games, man.
What's those games?
PlayStation
PlayStation or whatever?
PlayStation, yeah.
Yeah, they'd be on with little microphones on their face and shooting each other, But they would.
So the twins was Call of Duty guys
in prison.
No, this is on the street. They was telling me about they would bet guys, other drug cartel members, in a different city or something. They'd compete, on these games for $200,000 a game.
I believe the twins was
that's crazy.
Betting hundreds of stacks on Call of Duty games.
Let's check out the rest of this video.
Again, I appreciate Bill for reviewing the video, for trying as hard as he did to get my name right. I appreciate it.
I don't believe anything this guy says, man.
Link me next time, brother.
Like some bullshit to me.
Drop the link down there in the description.
Never heard nothing
like right around where yours is at in mine.
Like this, and at no point have we heard that they were elitist like that, like calling people peasants. That sounds like a Sammy the Bull story, right?
Yeah, and I don't see
that's funny.
Jay or Pedro allowing anyone to say that. They wouldn't say that shit.
If you guys want to check out this interview, go subscribe to this dude's YouTube channel. Chill, I guess the name is.
Chill. He's trying. He's trying it. It came a long way from Chile. He's trying.
I said, sit the f down.
Come on.
We're in a visiting room with guards and everything. You hit this fucking girl. I'm going to hit him. There'll be a revolution in this room. You'll never come back on a visit, and I'm going to be in the hole. Stop it. So what? Whatever she called us, don't worry about it. She's a jerk off.
She's a jerk off.
My daughter shut down, but she was biting on her lip. She was growling. She wanted to get at this woman. Then I told him on the inside, I said, bro, I tell your wife, bro, I'm no fucking peasant. My daughter's not a peasant. We're not peasants. You're a fucking peasant. You just got money because you're a drug dealer. But to me, you're a fucking peasant. You and your fucking scumbag wife.
So what was he? What was Sammy when he was in prison? What was he there for? Selling drugs.
Yeah, Sammy was a peasant. Sammy's got no class.
Sammy was an ecstasy dealer. So he did a show and he says, "Oh, I got caught in some bullshit ecstasy case, just some bullshit case they put on me." He's like, "Ecstasy's not even a drug, it's just a party drug." Like, do you even know what you're fucking talking about, Sammy? I swear this dude's losing his mind. No, this isn't the one where he calls in. We'll go over that one another time.
But why you got money though? How you get money? Extortion, murder. The
Ecstasy.
criminal ego, the criminal hierarchy. It's a character thing, you know what I'm saying? Shit, police got it, gangsters, but the ego's a crazy thing. But that sounds like he didn't like one of them dudes. Sounds like
He didn't like either one
had
of
some
them.
slick shit to say, and I ain't never heard.
He didn't. He didn't like
No,
either one.
He didn't like either one. He was just trying to get money out of them. You know, try to use his name and notoriety to gain, you know, financial gain from him.
Leech.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
I believe
That
it.
guy's right. You know, a lot of these guys, you know, I mean, a lot of
Well, thank you, Bobby. You said that guy's right. All right.
guys I was around, you know, they had egos that were, you know, I mean, just huge egos.
Yeah,
And
trust me, I deal with a lot of them, man. I deal with a lot of organized crime members.
I'm sure
people
you
who
do,
are involved
Bill.
with that life,
I bet.
and they all
Listen, if he's interviewing a bunch of mob guys, I'm sure there's a lot of Sammys in there, a lot of giant egos that Bill Stacks is dealing with on his show. I'm gonna be watching. I'm gonna be watching more often from now on. So you know,
got egos.
one of the wives, not even Val, who's been in the middle of all kind of shit. Have I heard one time anybody say she was on some elite? Like she knew what she was, but she wasn't gonna tell you what you were. That I've heard of so far. You know what I'm saying? So I'm calling bullshit. That sounds like some. I need a story to tell, and this guy anyway.
All you's got is money because of drugs, but you's a peasants, bro.
Do you think that he really said that to
And
them?
that argument stopped. So I did time with them. I'm very friendly with the other one, not the guy P, the other one. And even P, I mean, he set me up for a fall to get moved. I did 8 months in the hole because of him.
See, there's underlying beefs right there. You know what I'm saying? Overlying, underlying, all the above. So you got to take everything with a grain of salt. Everything they say, everything he says, everything everybody says.
Facts.
Phony.
hey, who's this?
They said that I was in touch with Chapo, and I reached out to people to kill him, his brother, their wives, and their children. And the government came down on me like a fucking hammer. I was 8 months in the fucking hole. And finally, some of them admitted that it was a fucking fake. Because as soon as he made that fake, they locked me down and they moved him to where he wanted to go, which was closer to his wife.
Yeah, I agree with this guy.
Damn, Bobby, you agree with me again, bro? Appreciate it.
I agree with this guy, Val and Vivian. You know, and I mean, I spoke to them, you know, on several occasions, and I don't see that type of remark coming out of their mouths. You know?
He used to drop slips on, didn't he? Drop slips on people to get them.
Oh yeah, he dropped slips on people in a heartbeat.
Did he drop slips on the Torres twins? Any of them?
The Torres twins.
I don't know. As long as they were
I'm
giving
going
him money, no, he wasn't. Yeah,
That's all it was about.
So all they needed was the allegation?
That's all they needed. Matter of
And then they took it back and said it was a lie and there was no consequence. They didn't move him back to where he was supposed to be.
Yeah, like all that bullshit. So if he lied about all that and they found out, he'd be in trouble, man. He'd be facing consequences.
Listen, the government had a hard fight to fight here because they can't do anything bad to Sammy because they'd get out into the press, and he's their poster boy. And they can't do nothing for the Flores brothers because, you know, they're bringing down the biggest drug cartel, you know, in the world. So, you know, they're in a bind. So they just figured, you know what, he wants to go to where, I don't know where he went, you know, and the reason they don't hit Sammy is because Sammy's a pimp.
Here we go. We had this question too, where we was like, Somebody asked me why Sinaloa hasn't touched the Twins, and I said, why ain't nobody touched Sammy? Why? Who wants to take that on?
At all.
For what?
And the reason they don't hit Sammy is because Sammy's a pimple on the guy's ass. That's why they don't hit him. I mean,
Gotti's dead. Like,
you know, hit him for what? For telling on Gotti?
He said hit him for what? Telling on Gotti? Exactly. That's my point. Like, nobody really cares no more. They're not gonna waste the manpower on dude. Why? Because that ain't even a hierarchy anymore. Like, it don't hold any don't hold no weight anymore.
I mean, who wants them kind of problems? Now, if he showed up and walked the streets of Brooklyn or Benson or something, yeah, they'd probably chop his head off. But they're not going to send guys out there just to, you know, to whack Sammy. You know, I mean, it just, you know, there's no sense. It's not profitable for anybody. So he's not that important, you know. Now, I think the Flores brothers, I think that they'd have some issues.
no, 100%.
But
I think
Sammy, I mean, as long as he's not in New York, he won't have no problems. This guy brings this up. This is true.
Of a private visiting room?
No, listen, it was our visit. It was the visiting room. Took her in the bathroom, right, and had sex with her. That's all, you know, and got her pregnant. That was Jay.
Wrong. It was Pete.
That was
this.
Or no, that was
So
Pedro. I'm sorry.
whoever this guy Jack is, he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, and then the billboard, that was me. I bought the billboard for him.
Here we go. Bobby says he bought the billboard for him.
Yeah.
What was? Well, you bought the billboard for him?
Yeah, I bought the billboard for him. Yeah.
What did the billboard say?
He wanted to do something special for his wife, so I said, well, you know, I can get you probably a billboard. You know, let me call this guy. And so a guy knew, you know, that was his line of work. And it said something like some crazy shit. It had giant hearts on it and flowers and you know, I love you, you know. Yeah, so
here's my question about the billboards. He's talking about it like it was one single billboard. I'm under the impression it was more than one billboard. So I'm kind of like, Bobby, are you really the guy? Because I thought he got more than one billboard, and he really saying it finite. He's like, I'm the one that got the billboard. I got it. I could get one. You know what I'm saying? It only said this. Well, my understanding, it was more than one billboard, you know, down the highway. Bobby, are you telling the truth, Bobby? Did you get the billboard? But I'm under the impression it was more than one billboard. And you sound like you talking about one billboard.
You bought the billboard for him?
Yeah, I bought the billboard for him, yeah.
See, they're not saying billboards.
That was me.
No S. They're saying the billboard.
Or no, that was
singular.
I can get you probably a billboard.
A billboard.
You know, let me call this guy. And
I'm under the impression there was more than one billboard.
Line of work. And it said
I'm wrong.
Like, some crazy shit. Tell me. Giant hearts on it and flowers and you know, I love you. You know. Yeah. So that was a good. That's why I got transferred out of there. I got Sammy the Bull. I'm not going to say that he did it, but I swear, as soon as they told me, you know, gave me my shot, you know, for that.
Yeah,
and it mentioned billboard. I'm thinking, man, Sammy opened his mouth, dropped a note on me.
Probably.
Hopeless Romantics got everybody getting shipped off.
So